So I want to real quickly go over some of the basic maintenance we've been trying to keep going with this mill. And as you can see, it looks really rather nice still. So the most basic, simplest thing you can do is don't touch it. If you want to touch something, touch the hand wheel, touch the controller, touch this little knob up here, touch your sweatshirt, whatever. Don't touch anything that looks like exposed steel, because that's exactly what it is. It's well ground, very finely ground. And essentially what happens is the oils from your fingers will get in there, and they'll actually start to corrode, help aid in corrosion, and so that's a bad thing. At the same time, don't use any wood or anything, pulp and paper or anything like that. So those will all release tons of water onto here, and it'll just rust it to death. So as far as just kind of things you should be doing to keep it looking good and keep it working well, is as you run it, you want to pull this thing down. So maybe when you start, and then every hour or two after that if you're doing stuff. And the more intense you're running it, the more you should be pulling it. You're not going to damage the mill by pulling too much. You might damage it by pulling too little. If you pull a lot, essentially what happens is you get a puddle of oil down here. No big deal. So err on the side of more rather than less. That's for lubrication. Another thing for lubrication is we got this little dropper right here. So to fill that up, we've got in our flammables cabinet, these two jars. You can decide which one you like better. I like this one because it's all flexible and clear and I can see what's going on. And so essentially you're just going to come up here, you'll open that thing up with the other finger, which I can't use because I have my hand on the phone, and kind of fill this up until it just overflows a tad. And there's another one right here you'll do the same thing with. Just fill it up till it overflows a tad. And maybe do that twice a week. And then, once again, you're not going to hurt it with too much oil. So the more you give it, the better. The next thing you want to do is about once a week, come on to here and take the spindle all the way down. All right. And this is kind of nasty. So what you want to grab is a paper towel. So here are paper towels. And you want to take them and you want to really just clean this off. There's like there's some nasty oil that's just kind of gone bad up here. There's chips and whatever else, and we don't want that in there. And nothing else actually really oils this too well. And then you're going to want to just take some more paper towels, right? And grab one of your oil cans. Really get a good bit of oil in there. I should probably be wearing gloves to do this, but whatever. And come on here and really, wipe that in all the way around. It needs a little bit more oil than I just put on there, so I'm just going to simply put some more oil on there. It's not a huge deal. I'm just going to go direct this time. And that's probably going to make a mess, but hey. And, so really just wipe it all the way around there, and that'll help keep this shining. It'll help keep it running smoothly, and that's, always good. And these rags are obviously going to go into our oil rags container and get emptied when I leave tonight. And it's going to be pulled up. Another thing is you want to leave it centered. So if you look down here, there are these limit switches. Just leave this guy in the middle of that and that. And then leave this guy centered between this thing and this thing. So then once you're actually cutting, you're going to be creating chips, whether it's plastic or aluminum or whatever. We don't want them staying on the machine. They're nasty to have on there, and they just make a mess. And especially with some of the plastics, they seem to kind of break down, and they'll leave like a film of this junk. So the first thing you can do is grab your shop vac. It's kind of on this pole up here. You can take it off if you like. Run the shop vac and come in here and just try to get as many chips as you can off. You can grab your your brush over here, get some more off, and then you can come up here and pull this thing down. Now I've got some hose here, and now we can come in and we can really, so with these long things, you can really get in here and really blow everything out, and you can get the channels totally clear. There's a little bit left in there of stuff. And if everybody's doing this, every time they use it, this machine's going to stay gorgeous, right? So you can pull this, let it back up. While you're working, You want to keep it well greased with this stuff, so you just spray it on and wipe it around. Once you're done working for the night, especially if you're going off for the weekend, just take some of this stuff and get your paper towels ready first. So you got your paper towels, right? And that's this, it's called Bow Shield. It's designed by Boeing for the planes. So you're just gonna take it and you're just gonna pretty liberally spray it around, right? And you're gonna get around here and really try to get this stuff all over the place, especially anywhere that you see any sort of like tanning. So it was happening right there for a little while. And you're just gonna grab your paper towels, just wipe it all over the place. Mind your hands. I've cut myself on here before cleaning, which is embarrassing beyond belief, but you can really wipe this all over the place. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna leave a little wax, maybe some lubricants and stuff, and really help to keep the machine from being able to rust and help keep it nice and shiny and smooth and running well, which is what we want. And like I said before, the oil isn't going to hurt it. This stuff, if you put too much on and let it dry, it's like if I were to have just sprayed it and not wiped it off, then what will end up happening is it'll form like this thick, waxy film. It's really nasty, and you have to use mineral spirits to take it off. That's no fun. It's not the end of the world, obviously, because you can just use mineral spirits to take it off. And that's what you would want to do if you were going to, be out for months or something like that. But, just for a night or a weekend or whatever, that's plenty sufficient. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else that you need to know about that. And that's pretty much all I've got on how to maintain the mill. I was actually building a maintenance schedule at one point. I might try to finish it on how to really maintain it. I think that if you just do those few things, and then the other thing would be like making sure that this little thing here is filled with oil, and I think you should be pretty good and well on your way to keeping it looking nice. That's it for the mill maintenance.